Hello, everyone. In this video, I will discuss immigration politics in Chicago and the opposing opinions. Also, I will cover the latest tragedies, providing you with video coverage of traffic stops that ended in homicides committed by federal ICE agents. Before we get into the serious issues, let's look at the Republican Party here in Chicago, which is critical of helping migrants who have forgotten that migrants are human beings. And this is a welcoming city, a sanctuary city that we love and respect. And let me remind those who do not have bloodlines to the real Americans, who are the Native American Indians. All of us are immigrants. Check your history, people. So let's get into the footage. Here is a Chicago Republican member at City Hall.
Body that's under a lot of pressure. And you're under a lot of pressure because you've misled a lot of people. You made people think that they got rights and power and authority that they don't have. And now you got to face the reality of that, right? See, the evidence of that is the mere fact that this morning, while we're sitting here waiting for you to come in here, some immigrant with a head wrap on came and had the audacity to tell me, Danny, and Zoe that we couldn't sit there. Somebody who don't even have the right to be in this country going to tell us where we can sit. That's due to your leadership. That's due to you filling people's head with a bunch of nonsense. So let's cut through the chase. We told you, I know for a fact that I did, that we was coming for these seats. That still stands, sir. All you got to do is look at how the Republican Party is moving. You don't see that redistricting? That's getting some of them seats for Republicans. You don't see that? You don't see how you then had to close your mouth, sir, about all this white supremacy and Trump stuff because he holding back on that money. You don't have no money because all the money that you had, you gave it to these illegal immigrants. And now the feds ain't giving you no more money. And while you still sitting there looking like you don't know what I'm talking about that $70 billion that the Republicans on Pennsylvania Avenue just passed in that partisan bill to fund ICE for the next 3 years.
From a micro standpoint, I can see why she's upset. I agree the city of Chicago could have done a better job in allocating resources to all people who are living in poverty, no matter what color they are. From a macro standpoint, she is criticizing migrants who came to this country to find a better opportunity. She did not mention that migrants came to this country because of American foreign policies of hegemony and imperialist practices. The American military is bribed by corporations, i.e., the military-industrial complex, oil industrial complex. These corporations control our U.S. Congress and force the U.S. military to go around the world and create havoc and chaos. We had a mass influx of Venezuelans coming to this country because America is over there in Venezuela causing economic instability. And today the American federal government and its private oil companies are stealing Venezuela's oil. So both the Democrats and Republicans, if you want to be critical of immigration, let's understand the root causes of why people are fleeing their homelands. And there you will find the truth. American corporate interests, which are to steal natural resources of other sovereign nations, are one of the reasons why we have a migration problem. Now let's look at what happened to Silverio Villegas Gonzalez here in Chicago. Here's a traffic stop that ended the life of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. The driver is just trying to leave the scene. He is in reverse. It does not show that there are federal agents behind the car. And to me, it does not seem that he was using his vehicle as a weapon to do some bodily harm to ICE agents. I believe that we all have heard the horrific stories of ICE stops that kill innocent people. Mr. Gonzalez feared for his life, and he was right. He was killed because ICE agents are trained to kill people. Operation Midway Blitz took place in our city of Chicago, and the lives that have been lost through ICE methods of denying people due process rights. Every day, people go to work and pay their taxes, but live in fear. And unfortunately, some of them have been murdered by the hands of the federal government, which has deployed a strategy of terror headed by Donald J. Trump. Silverio Villegas Gonzalez was a father who worked as a cook. He's originally from Mexico. When ICE stopped him, they fatally shot him at close range. His crime, according to federal agents, was that he was allegedly trying to flee an investigation conducted by ICE agents. Now we know that ICE has a proven track record of not wearing body cameras, distorting the truth, and not having their names identified on their uniforms, a recipe for extrajudicial killings. We have an ongoing investigation into the cause of death and who should be responsible for the killing of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. During a U.S. congressional hearing on what transpired during the stop, this is what Illinois Congress Representative Raja Chris Nomorte found out.
He dropped his kids off at school one morning, and then ICE agents stopped his car. When he tried to drive away, the agents claimed that they, quote, feared for their lives and then shot him in the neck. Mr. Villegas tragically died of his injuries. Mr. Romanucci, videos from the scene do not show Mr. Villegas Gonzalez hitting or attacking the agents. You're not aware of any evidence to the contrary, right?
I am not aware of any of that.
DHS also claimed an agent was, quote, seriously injured, but body cam footage showed the agent in question said his injuries were, quote, nothing major. You're not aware of any evidence to the contrary, right?
I am not, and that is very typical of the cover stories that we hear and the false narratives in order to defend their actions.
There was no evidence. This is part of a pattern. As you know, Mr. Romanucci, Mr. Villegas Gonzalez was stopped and then he was shot dead. The nation knows the names of Renee Good and Alex Preti, but let us please not forget Mr. Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, a Chicagoan.
The Illinois State Police has opened an investigation into the fatal shooting of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. It's been around 10 months since his murder in Franklin Park. A state commission released a damning report detailing the unwarranted actions by federal agents. The commission advised Illinois law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute alleged crimes caused by ICE agents. In other tragic news that could have been prevented, a 25-year-old Colombian father is dead. His name was Johan Sebastián Durán Guerrero. He was killed during an ICE operation in Biddeford, Maine. According to the Department of Homeland Security, officers were attempting to arrest another individual when Durán Guerrero allegedly drove his vehicle in a manner that an officer believed posed a threat, prompting the officer to fire. Witnesses and surveillance video have raised questions about that account, and the shooting is now under investigation by the FBI, Maine's Attorney General Office, and the Department of Homeland Security. Friends describe Johan as a hard-working father who came to America seeking a better future. Reports indicate that he had received authorization to work in the United States before his death.
Was not the target of the traffic stop when he was shot and killed by an agent in Maine. He was a delivery worker who had a partner and a 3-year-old daughter.
I'm quoting the Associated Press. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement Officer, David Brulette, who shot Johan in Maine this week, is an Army veteran who has struggled with serious mental health issues since early childhood and never should have been given a badge and gun to patrol American streets. Several of his close relatives told the Associated Press. Let's turn to what Mary Johnson has to say about ICE enforcement and immigrants.
They're terrified. They are absolutely terrified. And that's, look, I remember a few stand-ups ago when I talked about what terrorism looks like. This is it. There should be no question to what our country would look like had the Confederacy won. I've been saying this for months before the November election, that there are those in this country who have not accepted the results of the Civil War. And it's a war on our culture, it's a war on our democracy, it's a war on our humanity. I am counting on all of Chicago to resist in this moment, because whatever particular vulnerable group is being targeted today, another group will be next.
I agree with Mary Johnson. Where is our humanity? How would Jesus, peace be upon him, treat orphans and immigrants? God created this world with no borders. Do we follow God's laws or repressive man-made laws? If this video has opened your eyes, please subscribe, hit that bell notification button, and stay tuned for the next informative video. Thank you for watching, and peace.